So Monday marks the 22nd anniversary of those 9/11 attacks on America. President Joe Biden, we know he will not be attending the annual memorial ceremonies at Ground Zero in New York or the Pentagon outside D.C. Instead, we know he'll be traveling to Alaska to attend a memorial service, stopping on his way back from a trip overseas. But what do the families of the victims of those days think about the president not attending? Because they are not happy with it. Joining us to discuss, Chairman and CEO, Tunnel to Towers Foundation, Frank Siller. Frank, your thoughts on the president skipping out on these events?
Well, I'm not worried whether he was there or not, to be quite frank with you. The day is about the great heroes who paid the ultimate sacrifice on September 11, 2001. For those who want to pay their respects, I'm grateful for that. And for those that don't, it's sad to see. But in America, a lot of people seem to forget pretty quickly. But there's an awful lot of people that care. And that's why the Tunnel to Towers Foundation and the work that we're doing to make sure that we take care of all our first responders who die in the line of duty, that leave young families behind, and we deliver them mortgage-free homes. And most certainly our men and women in uniform, they've given their lives or their bodies, we deliver them mortgage-free homes too, and that's what we focus on. I'll be down there. I'll be down there before the sun comes up. I'll be saying a prayer by my brother's name. I'll be meeting a lot of my friends that lost brothers and et cetera that day. The firefighters that lost their co-workers and their brothers, to say the least. So that's the important part of the day for me. And America should never forget.
No, yeah, well, those of us who lived through it certainly will not. As a commemoration for the anniversary of the 9/11 attack, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation is delivering 22, as I understand it, Frank, 22 of those mortgage-free homes that you talked about to the American heroes. Tell us how you got the money to do that and how you picked the folks who are being honored for the heroes that were in their families.
Well, sad to say, how you get picked is you have to give your life up for your country or your community. So right. You don't want to, and you have to have a family, a young family left behind, because that's what we focus on the kids. And that's why we give these smart homes away if you're catastrophically injured, and or pay off the mortgages for first responders or our Gold Star families. So, 22 of them. So this is what we do at Tunnel to Towers. So we know how horrific the day was. I lost my brother. He was the youngest of 7. He was married. He had 5 kids. We know the pain of 9/11. But we made a conscious decision as a family that we are going to take that evil, all right? We're not going to let evil win out, that we're going to make sure goodness does. Goodness will always triumph over evil. And that's why on this day, 22 years later, we're given 22 mortgage-free homes. St. Francis of Assisi said, while we have time, let us do good. And those heroes that you're seeing some pictures of them now on your screen that fought the battle at Ground Zero, some of them survived. Some of them are still dying of 9/11 cancer. I just lost a friend of mine yesterday. I got a call from his wife that he passed away of 9/11 cancer. I was with him earlier the week before. This is what continues to happen. So we want to honor those great heroes by doing good. And what's better than to make sure that these heroes' families can stay in the house, that they were making all their dreams together with their families, and they don't have to worry about a mortgage. How do we raise the money? $11. $11 a month. We ask people to go to t2t.org and do $11 a month. Over 200 mortgage-free homes this year, over 200. And that includes catastrophically injured service members, and they're not inexpensive to build these homes.
Right.
And over 1,000 so far over the last couple of years. So
wow.
We are very proud, but we do it with the kindness and generosity of everyday Americans. $11 a month, t2t.org, and people can see where their money is going. They could see to these families, to these great families that you see, not just what happened on 9/11, but that risk their lives every single day and all too often give up their lives.
Frank, you are so personally connected to the work that you do. What is it like for you when you're able to present one of these heroic, amazing service workers with a home? I know that it is a bittersweet moment because some of them are no longer with us. But what is that like to see the emotion in their families' eyes?
Well, you're on every emotion that you can imagine. It's joyous in one aspect because we're so proud, and it's such an honor to do this, to give a mortgage-free home to these great families. And then, but it's very emotional because we know what they're going through. I know what they're going through. They just lost their loved one, and it's so sad. But it's important that they know that America hasn't forgotten, and Tunnel to Towers is the conduit which people can come together and make sure that we take care of these families. That's
Yeah.
we just like go to them and say, look, this is what all these people in America who care. It's uplifting. After 9/11, it lifted my family and
Yeah.
9/11 families when we all came together, and people and like myself and my family knew that my brother's family was not forgotten.
Yeah.
And that's what we're doing every day. Every day.
We've got to go, but before we go, I wanted to ask you maybe an odd question. On 9/11, do you talk to your brother? You think about him? What do you think his thoughts would be watching you from above?
I have a cigar with him every 9/11. I light up a cigar during the day. I talk to him in the morning. I pray for him and his family, and I laugh. I cry, and I promise him that we're going to continue doing the work that we're doing in his memory and the memory for all those who perished 22 years ago.
Frank, thank you so much. And thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
You're welcome.